we're going to dive in a little bit deeper about what is Pet Peace of Mind with the founder, and she is Diane McGill. You're based in Oregon. Tell us a little bit about what is Pet Peace of Mind. I think you've been around a little bit.
Yeah, Peace of Mind's been around for 15 years.
Nice.
And it's a labor of love. It sprung from filling a niche that needed to be filled. When Pet Peace of Mind was founded, I was running another national animal service nonprofit. And one of my team members got a call from a woman in Florida who had a deathly allergy to cats. But her very best friend in the world was terminally ill. And the only thing she cared about before she passed was making sure that she could have her cats with her while she was in her last days. And then her cats would go to a loving new home once.
And she had that peace of mind knowing that, right?
Exactly. And so the friend called and said, I have tried and tried and tried to find someone who will come in and care for her pets. I would do it, but I can't. And I can't find a place that will take the cats. All the shelters are full. Everybody knows the drill. I'm shelter overcrowded. And so she said, can you help? And my team member said, absolutely. This is what we do. We keep pets and their people together and bring them good feelings. So 2 days later, only to discover that, in fact, there was no help for this patient. And thus, Pet Peace of Mind was born. It really, truly was born out of a need to fill the niche that was a huge gap. And interestingly, when we start talking about Pet Peace of Mind with people who haven't heard about our work before,
they're
like, didn't that already exist? Didn't that happen already? And it is something that you think should be so automatic that it should have been around for decades, but in fact, it wasn't. And
I bless you for being able to see this very, very compassionate need that needs to be filled. So we do think we're going to live forever with our pets. I mean, I do have things that I bring that, if something happened to me in a car accident, I have on my keychain something that says to the first responder, I have what pets at home and please call this person. So I have a backup plan, but sometimes we get that terminal diagnosis, and I know pets have they just make us better human beings. So tell us a little bit about you're based in Oregon, but you're national.
Yes. We actually work through, here's what we do.
Okay.
We train human hospices how to put pet care programs into place for their patients who have that bond that Jean spoke of. And every pet owner that's listening right now knows the meaning of that bond and feels it from the depths of their soul. Not to get sentimental about it, but it is like loving a family member.
Well, I totally.
So it was really designed when I first looked into starting the program and started to do background research. I envisioned the program being run by community organizations that were pet-centric, shelters, rescues, other pet community groups. And so once I gathered a group of test hospices from across the country to, ride the idea with them and get some feedback and do my due diligence, they're nodding until I said, and it would be run by a pet-centric organization in your community. They're like, no. HIPAA would never permit us to turn over that kind of information on a wholesale basis. So with some retooling, it was fairly easy to bring the model behind the walls of the hospice. So the way it is, hospices reach out and say, we want to do the program. And they go through several phases of training, but the training isn't just the volunteer coordinator who is the linchpin in making the program successful in each of the hospices, but frontline nurses, social workers, everyone in the organization needs to know how to spot the need for a referral and how to make a referral. So once referred, the volunteer team takes it from there and they dispatch a well-trained experienced pet care volunteer to go in and do whatever the patient needs, whether it's walking or veterinary appointments or grooming appointments.
Yeah, real life things that people
real life thing,
right?
But happens stuff that happens every day that they need. Change water.
I understand you even helped somebody with bales of hay. They had horses. What was that about?
So one of our partners in Idaho, a fellow was quite rural. He lived 20 miles from town.
Okay.
And he had 3 beloved horses, and he was passing that home. And his pet care team stopped by and said, "Do you need anything?" Thinking that maybe his indoor pets needed something. He said, "We're really worried about my horses. It's winter, it's cold, and I'm not sure how much hay is out there." And so the volunteers went out, and there was no hay to be had. So they went into town. They got several tons of hay, brought it out, stacked it, and assigned a volunteer to make sure that they were there often enough to keep those horses fed. So it's that compassionate care and doing whatever it takes in order to make the patient's life better in final days and be a voice for the pets. There's of course, for anyone who has lost a loved one and it's coming, there's a lot of chaos and emotion.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so pets can often be overlooked unintentionally, very unintentionally. The patient's too sick to care for them. There's lots of other emotional things going on. So Pet Peace of Mind really acts as a voice for the pets, as well as providing that comfort and compassionate care for patients.
And I do want, you're going to say it again at the end of the show, but how do people find out about your group?
PetPeaceOfMind.org.
All right. Say it loud. Say it proud.
But sing it, baby.
And, my mom passed away with hospice and was a big animal lover. And it was always wonderful because she had a golden retriever she found on a Sunday, no chip or anything. And she named the dog Sunday. Anyway, when my mom passed away, it was nice because Sunday was also there. And pets do so much for us. We talk about that. But I also think they need to know about the process too. I mean, I am so bonded to Kona and my cat, Casey. I swear we finish each other's sentences. I hope if that was my fate, that they could be with me.
And it certainly could be. And you would also, I think, want to know, clearly, you have a plan for a guardian that will come in and rehome your pets to their home. Right. But so many people do not have anyone.
Yes.
Or they are suddenly afflicted and never thought it would happen. It's one of those chores that people always want to.
It's kind of like making a will, you're like, oh, that's so adult.
Yes, it is so adult. And it's also, is it morbid? No, it's not morbid. It's a really important step. But let's assume that people don't have anyone, or that the anyone they counted on has had a change in life circumstance.
Good point.
Or they're so emotionally overwrought with the loss of this person that they can't really function around pet care either. So Pet Peace of Mind, again, from the primary reason for founding it was, of course, to provide a compassionate assistance for a terminally ill patient. But equally, that pet needs a voice as well. And that pet needs a voice, as you said, during the last days and being with their human during the last few days of life, certainly, and then transitioning to a new loving home right away. So that's
exactly
the important aspect of the program is rehoming a pet when the patient doesn't have anyone to take the pet. It's great for the pet, obviously, because they bypass the uncertainty of what's going to happen.
At a shelter. Yeah. And we have about a minute left, and you've done a lot in your lifetime, but how does this rate what you've done? You've actually created and filled a need.
It's the story. It's my love of my life. It is. It's a lovely, lovely way to live, to give back, and to really do something small. Maybe small
but mighty. Do you have any pets right now?
Oh, yes, I do.
They're listening, so they need to hear their names.
I don't know if we can get it on a minute. I've got a sassy little Westie named Sadie. Oh, sassy. And then I've got a Bichon named Calvin. And then we live on a farm and we have 4 feral cats, Tom, Tina, and the Wilds.
Oh, it sounds like a rock group. Okay.
And they live with us too, and they take care of us in a whole other.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on our show and telling us all about it. Again, the name of the group is Pet Peace of Mind. Our guest is Diane McGill. Again, how do people find out? Because maybe people want to help out, donation or volunteer. How can we do that?
So on the website, if someone is looking for a program because they want to make sure that they're at a point where they need to select a hospice, or a family member does that wants this program, there's a find a program link on the site to find out generally about Pet Peace of Mind. The website's easy to navigate. It's also easy to make a donation. And yes, we do depend on donations to exist. But it is I think for volunteering, we are delighted to connect anyone who's interested in volunteering with their local hospice. There's a way to send an email to volunteer, and we will take it from there and connect you to the right hospice that serves your area. And if there isn't a hospice partner near you, we'll find something else for you to do.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.